Welcome to the New Code Facebook Live show. I'm super excited to tap into our conversation today. I'm Corrina Steward. I am a soul wealth coach, and I help to activate your wealth so you can scale your 6- and 7-figure business, what I call your empire of light. And I'm super excited today because, I was reminded this morning of really what's required within us, within you, in order to create that next level wealth inside of you. And there's something that, when I became a coach like a decade ago, when I did my coach training, there was this concept that was taught, and it's called your edge. And getting on your edge and leading as a coach, leading people to their edge. And so I want to talk today about what is the edge, because the edge is a very special place. It is that space within you that wealth is created from. It's also where transformation happens and how you will create a breakthrough in your life. And especially as entrepreneurs who are wanting to create good in the world, who are making a difference in the world, it's incredibly important for you to actually always stay on your edge and never let off being on the edge. And what was your edge a year ago is not going to be your edge today. So, it's important to, always take notice of what that is. So, all right, what is the edge? I think it was last week I talked about bringing my clients to this place in Eleuthera in the Bahamas called the Sapphire Blue Hole, and getting to the edge of a cliff and jumping, right? And jumping into their million dollar wealth. And that was the metaphor that we used. And, they got to break through any fears that would come up to stepping to that edge and jumping in. So that is, in a sense, what I'm talking about. But I want to go a little deeper with it today and help you to identify what might be that edge that you are needing to lean into so you can have a wealth breakthrough, so you can create more wealth. So one of the best ways to create an edge inside of you, which is, all right, the edge is always the place where you become uncomfortable. All right. If you're feeling pretty darn comfortable in your life, meaning like you accept and tolerate like the conditions of your life, you're not reaching and growing for a big goal, a big dream right now, and essentially you're just playing it safe, well, then you're not on your edge. So to be on your edge, right? And sometimes it shows up like, I'll notice like if I get off my edge, it's kind of like I'm a little sleepier. I don't want to do my runs as much. Like you just kind of like get a little lazy. And your lazy may not look like someone else is lazy, but still pay attention to that. So in order to get on that edge, it's always to put something in front of you that costs more than you have. That's an example when it comes to money. So, this month and actually a couple of days, we're going to be closing on land that, it'll be the first property here in Puerto Rico that we're buying. And, it's a really big deal for us. We moved here over 3 years ago, and it's a goal that we had. And it's actually really been a lifetime goal of mine. And we're 4 days away. And so that's an edge, right? Because that requires, we're buying it all with cash, and it required me and my husband and I and our family really to get onto a new edge, because that's a bump in cash that we get to create this month. And so that has kept me on my toes, like essentially every single day, where I'm looking at like cash flow, I'm looking at, getting more sales in the door, I'm creating new opportunities to serve. And it's inspiring new ideas within me. And it's inspiring not only new ideas within me to create money, but it is also pulling out inside of me something that wasn't there before, which is this embodiment of a landowner. Okay, so there's that, an embodiment of, doing what I say I'm going to do, right? Because I've made this commitment. And so there's that. But whenever you put something in front of you that is a financial, we'll call it investment, right? A goal, whether it's, buying a home, or it's, I'm gonna invest in, creating a podcast. I'm gonna invest in, getting a really great coach so that I can have, a great business strategy to grow my business. Like whatever it is, make sure that it is beyond what you can currently reach. Because when you make it just a little bit further than what you currently can reach, it's going to bring you to your edge spiritually, number one, right? Because every new wealth creation is the result of a inner spiritual shift. And so let's look at that for a moment, because it's going to get you closer to God. It's going to get you no longer taking some of your own, what I call your own bullshit, right? Like calling yourself out on that stuff, where you're, rather than saying like, oh, like, you know, it's okay if I don't hit that goal, right? And in fact, you say, no, I must, but it's so much bigger than me that I've got to go higher. I've got to go into what I call money as God. I've got to go into money as love, which means you need to become more loving. You need to become more service oriented. You need to give more. You need to be willing to do things that you know, sticking your neck out, you know, becoming more visible in ways that in the past, you know, you maybe wouldn't have done because the risk wasn't that high, right? So you've got to actually put risk in your life. You've got to put that in there. You've got to put the potential of failure right in front of you, because if you don't do that, then you're not going to lean into that edge. All right. So I hope you guys are understanding what this edge dynamic is all about. So the first step is make sure you put something that makes you uncomfortable, that is just beyond your reach. It's beyond the money you have. It's beyond the leadership that you have. It's beyond your capacity to love in this moment. It's beyond your capacity to give. Because when you put that in front of you, that's bigger than what you currently are, that's more than you currently are, well, guess what? Like, you're going to meet it. You're going to have to work on meeting it. Well, you won't always meet it, because the truth is sometimes you won't get there, but you can try again, right? What it does is it pulls you forward, and there's an energy, okay? There's an energy to this edge that you've put out there saying, I want to get there. And it's pulling you forward like a magnet. And without that, right, let's just imagine you have it. Then here you are. And you're just looking at, which way do I go? I don't know. And you're kind of aimless, right? But when you put a really risky goal out there, something that is, you know, a reach for you, a stretch for you, like a giraffe, right? It's like, you know, stretch that neck and get it, right? You must grow. You must grow. And what will happen from the perspective of wealth consciousness is you'll begin to alchemize yourself into more light, into more love, into a deeper embodiment of the I am, which is God consciousness, and more in truth with yourself, your authentic self, and who you truly are. And when those four things are happening, you're instantly, in every moment that you're stretching for it, you are becoming a higher quotient of wealth. A higher quotient of love and light, which is leading you into a higher embodiment of quantum wealth. Okay, so it's a really fun dynamic if, you know, once you play this game, like I do this every day. I do it like whenever I start to feel comfortable, I say, where's the reach? Where's the reach? Because I'm not playing big enough. I'm not playing big enough. And then I make a big declaration. You know, it was like 2 years ago, I made a declaration on Facebook. It was a post, and I said, I'm going to, you know, donate $10,000 to into my fund for a new humanity. It'll be my first investment into my fund for a new humanity, so that I can make a difference in the world in communities that I care about. And, you know, less than 6 months later, not only did I do it, but that year, I think alone, I probably gave over $30,000 to charities around the world. And, you know, it set a precedent inside my business, with my clients, with my family, where we're always giving on that level. And then I want to keep giving at even higher and higher levels. So the important thing about, you know, you find, you put out there, what is that edge? You decide what it is, okay? Then it's important to announce it, right? It's important to declare it. It's important to put it out there, because again, it's taking a risk. You know, you put your name behind it. You've said, I'm going to do this. I'm going for it. So especially if you are, you know, it's really valuable if you're working with a coach to like be really honest and like put that out there. So, you know, like my coach, for example, knows what some of my really stretchy goals are this week and then following week and, you know, for the rest of the year. And I put them out there because I actually want her to not only, you know, to witness my success, but maybe even witness my failure at them. You know, I don't want to fail at them, but if I do, like, I want that to be witnessed, because it actually makes it energetically even more, I'll say edgy, you know, because there's this energy that builds and builds and builds. And then if you don't hit it the first time, it's like, okay, I know for me, I'm not willing to just let it lie and say, well, I tried and I'm done. No, I'm going to go after it again. I'm going to go after it again because that's the kind of person I am. And that I also know is what creates wealth. It's what creates making a difference in the world. Okay, so homework for this week is, what is your edge? What is that edge? What is it that you require? I always ask that question about your calling, like, what do you require in order to fulfill your calling? So knowing your edge is to know what you require. So, is it an amount of sales that you're going to make this week, amount of money creation? Is it, investing in something that you absolutely know you must do and going after it and being willing to get really uncomfortable about that and doing what it takes? Make a decision on that and declare it. Declare it right here in the chat. You can just put it right in the comments here. Also declare it somewhere else. Tell your coach. Tell, a friend of yours. Say it, on your personal posts in Facebook. Make a declaration so that you can be held accountable and, stick your neck out. Stick your neck out. Put some skin in the game, because there's nothing like putting something out there publicly that gets you to actually commit and, very likely succeed at what it is you're declaring you're going to do. All right, you guys, have an amazing week. I'd love to hear how it goes for you in getting into that edge and seeing how that creates wealth for you, just by getting into this energetic dynamic. All right, you guys, take care.